Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I hope that you are well. Really trying to get my whole life together. How are you doing? I am your girl, Pastor Courage Molina of Dose of Courage Community Church, an online global church for women. I'm also the founder of Courage Molina University, which is an online personal growth and development school. What's up? What's up? It is, y'all know what day it is. It is Freedom Friday. What's good? What's good? Go ahead and share this. I'm streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, both Facebook pages. We everywhere right now, right? We everywhere right now. What's up? Um, so really what I do is I equip and train women of purpose in the word of God. So it's faith building so that they become bolder, more confident, and courageous enough to be, do, have everything that God has called over their life. So this is a great channel. This is a great page. If you are, if you're a woman who wants to be wildly successful, if you want to be a woman of massive impact, then go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and like the page so that you can, get all the things as all the things come. So, Freedom Friday is something that we do every Friday, and it's really just an opportunity for me to share with you some reflections from the week, some things that have happened in my life this week, and lessons that you can take, something I'm getting free from a mindset, from a way of doing things, whatever, so that you too can get free. Because the truth is, we've been called to do great work, and there is always this growing that's happening with us, right? Like, if we are committed to our growth, then we are always growing. And it's so important for us to be committed to our growth. If we're committed to our growth, then we are always growing. And so that means that, week to week, day to day, there is something that you learned that, you can now apply to your life in some way. And so on this Freedom Friday, I want to encourage you to keep it simple, sweetheart. To keep it simple. Keep it simple. I think we like the word simple better than easy. This is what I want you to do. I want you to keep it simple. When you start to think about what you could do or how you could do something or how you want to serve people, I want you to think to yourself, like, what is it? What is the most simple way for me to do this? What is the simplest way? Oh, that's so good. What is the simplest way for me to get this done? Right? I think that we reject the word easy. I've been telling y'all I'm doing things the easy way. I think that maybe people are rejecting that because it's like it doesn't seem right. If it's easy, it seems like you cheated. I don't have time to even go into that today. But simple. What if you just decided to keep things simple? What is the simplest way for me to do this? So y'all know I guess it's still kind of true. I'm not really going to be coaching, right? I'm not going to be coaching. Let's say that. I'm not going to be coaching. I am keeping Courageous Faith membership, but Courageous Faith membership is changing. But anyway, when I started thinking about like, okay, I'm not coaching anymore. Like, what is the Lord going to have me doing? I just don't understand, right? I'm not going to be coaching these women in their business. I'm just so confused because that's a huge part of my revenue. My income wheel, so to speak. Coaching is a very large part of my income wheel. And so what am I going to do? How am I going to, now I got new income to replace. I just replaced my income, from something else. Now I got new income to replace. Like, what am I going to do? I just don't know what I'm going to do. But here's the thing. It's not about having all these things. That's the problem, right? I had Courageous Faith. I still have Courageous Discipleship. I have Courageous Living Mastermind, and I was in my mind getting ready to do something new. And I'm also growing the church, right? So, Courage Molina University is going to wanted to offer more coaching programs, and the church obviously wants to do more things. We want to have small groups, and all of that, right? We want to start doing these pop ups. We're getting ready to have our first retreat in September. Please get your life and register for the retreat if you have not. Let me see. Do I have a banner for it? Oh, I do. Look at me. Ooh. Go ahead. You can register for the retreat. June 30th is the last day that you can save your spot if you need a payment plan. So go ahead and reserve your spot. Go ahead and reserve your spot. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. So yeah. Anyway, all of these things, right? And so I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I know that I needed a team, and I just kept feeling like the Lord was telling me I wasn't going to be coaching. I'm not going to be coaching. I'm not going to be coaching. That really made me feel away. And so it's kind of messed me up because what it revealed to me, oh, it's so good. What it revealed to me, what I finally realized this week is that over the past, I don't even know how many months, or maybe the past year, or maybe the past, I mean, it's 2022. I think even maybe the past 2 or 3 years, 2 years, maybe the last 2 years. Yeah, it's certainly during the pandemic. Yeah, it's 2022. Yeah, definitely. The last 2 years, I have been very program focused. And I want to explain that I've been very program focused. So when I thought about my content, the content I would create, the podcast I was going to do, all of those things, I was very program focused. I was focused on, so when God told me to focus on impact, I really narrowed in and focused on the impact of programs, right? How can I impact people? How can I increase the impact that I have on people via my programs? Which is why I'm like, you cannot get in Courageous Living Mastermind unless you have come through Courageous Discipleship. And that's just it. It's just whatever. And I stand by that. Not that it matters, not because I'm not doing Courageous Living Mastermind anymore. But it's great because now you can only get coached through Courageous Discipleship. If I'm going to offer any coaching program in the future, you will have to come through Courageous Discipleship. That is it. There's no way for you to get to Courageous Living Mastermind. I don't even have Courageous Living Mastermind anymore. We're running it right now, but once this is over, then it's going to be it for some time. It's going to be it for some time. And so I've just been really focused on programs. Listen, it's cool to be focused on your program, especially when your program helps people. But you know what that means? It means that since I've been focused on my programs and since I've been focused on serving my clients, I haven't actually been focused on my message. I haven't really been sharing my message. There are so many people who have met me, who know me, who don't even really know what I stand for. Now, y'all know I believe in the word of God, but you don't understand like why I do the things that I do and why I teach them the way that I teach them, because my messaging has been very program focused. What would it look like if you just went back to how you got started? Which is what I continue to hear. What would it look like if you just went back to how you got started? It's just very simple. And I kept things simple back then because I didn't have programs or people to be concerned with. So I kept it very simple. I wasn't trying to change it up because I feel like I've been saying the same message all this time. I just kept things very, very simple back then. I taught a message through every post. I had something to say. Facebook is reminding me of all my messages. I've been looking at my memories, right? I've been looking at my memories all week long. And all week long, I'm looking at these memories. First of all, I've been doing this for a long time. I have been doing this for a very long time. That's one. The second thing is I really had a lot of good stuff, y'all. Those posts were so good and they were so powerful. I don't know if they got a lot of likes. I don't remember. Even when I looked at my memories, I didn't even check to see like how many views a live got or how many likes it got. I didn't even look at that. I was just reading what it said and it was so good. I'm like, dang, how is this so good? I feel like I ain't got good content like this no more or whatever. And so I realized it's because I haven't been sticking to the message. Keeping it simple. Listen, you have the freedom. I want to give you the freedom to keep it simple. It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. You don't have to have all of the things. The question you should be asking yourself is, what is the simplest way for me to do the work that God has called me to do? What is the simplest way for me to get my people the transformation that they need? What is the simplest way for me to serve my clients? What is the simplest way for me to set this business up? What is the simplest way? It doesn't have to be this super high-tech, convoluted way. Keep it simple, because I think it's all those moving parts that, one, wear us out, and two, keep you from doing something. Right now, you want to serve 30,000 people. You want to serve 40,000 people. That's what's in your mind. Like, that's your heart. You want to serve as many people as you can. You want to help more people. You want to help 1 million people. You want to help whatever. Do you have the things in place to help one person, though? Do you have something in place right now so that you can help one individual? How many individuals are you helping right now? You want to do this, you want to do all of these things, but are you making it so difficult and so complicated that you can't even pull the trigger? I just talked to my coaching community, my mastermind women, Courageous Living Mastermind. We just had a talk this week. I think it was on Wednesday. We just had a talk on Wednesday. Maybe it was earlier during the week. Might have been a Take Action Tuesday. Who knows? But it was something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you have the program, you have the steps, you have the people, but there's no way for people to work with you. There's no way for somebody to say, oh, I know that you do this, and so I want to work with you. No, it's no easy way for them to do that. There are no simple steps for them to do that, because you are making it more complicated than it has to be. Keep it as simple as you can so that you can serve. You have a program. That program is delivered how? You have it programmed somewhere that you can deliver it to people. There's a way for you to work with them. There's a way for you to connect with them, right? What's the simplest way that they can pay you? Well, Cash App is a way, PayPal is a way, right? You have a ministry, you have a message. You believe that God has called you to lead in ministry. You believe that God has given you a message to take out to the masses. There's a call in your life to serve women, or to serve wives, or to serve mothers, or to serve, men and women, families, whatever. You've been called to serve an audience. You don't need all that extra stuff. The simplest way is to hit go live. Well, you waiting on what? Or a simple way is to open up your home. Like, it don't take all that you're making it take. You could just what would it look like if you just kept it simple? If you did the simple way, what is the simplest way for me to get this started? Because what I realized when I saw all these memories this week is that I am not where I started. Right? That there were so many things that I was doing back then because I wasn't caught up in how it was going to look, or what the production value was going to be, or doing it this way and all the people are doing it that way. I was the type, if I had an idea, I was like, okay, let's run. I didn't wait on other people to do this or do that. I just kind of got it done. And you know what? I made a lot of mistakes, but I also helped a lot of people along the way. There are a lot of things that I wouldn't do the same, but I helped a lot of people on the way. The problem is that your next level is the steps to your next level isn't as difficult or as complex as you're making it. The steps to your next level are simple, just like the steps to your beginning. Simple. What is the simplest way for me to do this? I want a podcast. You know how I started my podcast? With my phone. It wasn't this iPhone. It was probably iPhone 7 something. I did just like this. I did a voice memo. That's how I used to do it. I did a voice memo, and then I sent that voice memo probably through email or Google Drive. And then I uploaded it to, I used SoundCloud first because SoundCloud was free. And I heard about SoundCloud. I do not recommend SoundCloud for podcasting. Maybe they've changed some things, but SoundCloud is really for music artists. And you can tell that by the way, the way some of the features are or whatever. But that's how I started. That's how I started my podcast like this. And there's music on the podcast. What I did to play my music is I had my laptop open, and I put my phone. I will put my phone right on the base of my laptop, like right in front of the keyboard, and then I would play music. I would have my finger on the record button, right, the voice memo button, and the play button for some free music that I got on YouTube. And I literally, with my finger, was turning down the music so that it had that faded out sound because I did not know how to edit. I did not know how to add in music at the time. I don't know that I had a name. I know that the name of my podcast has changed. It used to be Courageous Living. My intro has changed 100 times, but I just did it the simplest way. When I started building my platform, it's just because I had a message. I didn't necessarily think like, oh, let me do it this way. I had a message that I needed to get out to the people. So I literally was sitting in my car and I would just have my phone and I was like, what's up? I did Facebook, I did Periscope. I just kept it simple. I didn't make it more difficult than it needed to be. I did not use strategy as a means to keep me inactive. I'm going to say that again. I did not use strategy as an excuse or means to keep me inactive. I want to know what is the simplest way to get from A to B. And now once I get there or on the way there, yes, I can, make it better and all those things. But some of you are not moving to the next level because you're making it way more difficult than it has to be. You want to start a YouTube channel, but you won't start a YouTube channel because you don't have the right camera and you don't have the right lighting. If you don't sit yourself in front of a window, open up that window and put your phone on a tripod this way, landscape, and record, and then you can edit right on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on. There are ways for us to start to get this work done, but we just won't keep it simple. God wants to take you to the next level in something. He's calling you to go from where you started to the next level. And even those steps are meant to be simple. I want to give you permission to keep it simple. What is the simplest way for you to do it? If the hard way is going to keep you out, then do it the simplest way. If the way that everybody else is doing it is going to keep you out, then do it the simplest way. I never would have started a church. Never would have started. Listen, do you hear me? I never would have started a church, right? If I had been thinking about like, okay, what do I need to do to start a church? That was my goal, wasn't to start a church. That wasn't my goal. My goal, what do you hear what I'm saying? My goal was not, I'm not a church planter. My goal wasn't to start a church. My goal was to teach women Bible. My goal was to have conversations with women on a weekly basis around Bible, right? Around the stories of the Bible, the wisdom of the Bible. I didn't just want to be chatting up about a book study. I wanted us to be actually in the Holy Bible, studying that. That's what I wanted. That was my heart. That was my desire, right? That we would be studying the Bible. Do you know what that took? It took a text message. That's it. That first week, you think you were there. The first week, all it took was a text message. I can't even say I definitely sent an email. I can't even say that for sure. I can't even say I sent an email. I sent a text message to people I know that like the Bible. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this Zoom on Saturday. This is what we're going to do. We're going to just talk about Bible. I'm just going to do a Bible study if y'all are interested. I did not sit around thinking about when was the best time for other people. Come on, Jesus, you're freeing me right now. I didn't sit around thinking about what was going to be the best time for other people. There are so many people who complain about the 8 a.m. EST Bible start time, Bible study time. Now it's church. That's what time church starts, at 8 a.m. on Saturday. There were so many people who are like, oh, why does it have to be at 8 a.m.? I got a lot of pushback, but do you know what? I'm the one leading. So it has to be at a time that is most convenient for me. I need to keep it simple. It needs to be at a time that's not going to interfere with my family time and things like that. So I'm not inconsistent. It needs to be at a time that works for me. Even if it doesn't work for anybody else, it's going to work for somebody. People are showing up for appointments, for lives, for events, for coaching every hour of the day all across the world. Do you hear me? I'm going to say that right now. I don't know who this is for. You are struggling with the time you need to be doing something. Do it at the time that best serves you. Do it at the time that best serves you, because you're the one who has to show up. And I'm going to tell you what I know from back in the day. You can listen to these people and be like, oh, what day do you think you want to have a group? What day should we have a small group? And everybody like, well, it can't be this day. It can't be that day. It can't be this day. It can't be that day. Let's let it be Friday. And so then I did it on Friday. Do you know how many of those let's let it be Friday people didn't show up on a Friday because they was tired at the end of the week? And I knew I didn't want it on no Friday. I was a classroom teacher at the time. I knew I didn't want it on the Friday. Do you know what I learned? There is no best time for everybody. You're the host, you're the lead, it's your event. Do it at the time that works for you and find people that time also works for them. You are not a unicorn as it relates to time. Somebody is also free Tuesday at 3 p.m. You're not the only one. There are small groups right now that meet in the middle of the day. There are small groups right now in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. There might be women who work nights because they're nurses. There's always somebody working. You think that when you do something in the evening, that's going to make more people come because a lot of people work. Well, a lot of people work in the evening too. Hotels, restaurants, hospitals, stores, people work at night too. So that means you're still doing it at a time where people work. My point here is keep it simple. Don't have all these, oh, well, I'm gonna do it. No, what's the best day and time for you? The best day and time for me is Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Why? Because my house is not necessarily up at 8 a.m. Ain't nobody really looking to spend no quality time with me yet, right? They want to be able to sleep in. We ain't really getting it going till about 11 a.m. That's really when people want to talk and maybe they getting up, especially when my husband was working out of the home, right? So now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so now what's keeping you from doing it? I think that what keeps us from doing what we need to do and leveling up is that we don't keep it simple and we do all these things to fill our time. The beautiful thing that I noticed, the beautiful thing that I can see right now from me keeping it simple, for me, like it feels so good. Whew. It feels so good. The beautiful thing of keeping it simple allows you to really do higher quality, better work because you kept it simple, right? It allows you to get started and to start helping right now instead of being stalled for how many weeks, how many months. Courageous Faith membership is changing. The changes will take place July 1st. I wrote down everybody's name who's in it. I wrote down all the people's name, but things are changing. So this is the third quarter. If you go to the website right now, to the CMU website right now, you can see that it's open for people to enroll. You can enroll for the quarter that, you know, or you can enroll for the year. The price is lower. I like that part. The price is lower than it previously was. The price is lower for Courageous Faith membership. It was $200 a month. It's now $147. It averages out to $150 a month. So for the quarter, it used to be $600. Now for the quarter, it's $450. It's $1,500 for the year. Come through, somebody. Let's just keep it simple. What would it look like if I kept Courageous Faith membership simple? Because I have a church that I want, not that I need, but I want to focus on, that my heart is going towards, right? But I understand that I have great impact. What is it that I want to do? What is it that I can do to keep it simple through Courageous Faith membership? How can I make it? Because here's the thing. Sometimes if you refuse to keep it simple, it means that you have to get rid of it. If you refuse, I'm going to say that again. Sometimes when you refuse to keep it simple, it means that you can't do it. It means that you're not going to be able to do it. So think about, like, even a vacation. If I keep my vacation simple, right? Because I want to go on vacation. If I just keep it simple, it means that I could probably just pick a place, get in my car, go somewhere, do it, and then come back. If I refuse to keep it simple, it could mean that I'm not able to go on vacation at all. And I'm not saying that you're going to be this way for your entire life. I'm saying if simple is a way for you to get it done, which would you rather? Would you rather do it or would you rather not do it? I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And so I'm really talking about things that your heart wants to do. I'm not talking about things, I ain't doing it if it ain't this way. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about stuff that's pressing on your heart to do right now. It's pressing on your mind to do right now. It's a program, it's a book, it's something that's on your mind for you to do right now. What is the simplest way for you to get it done if it is pressing on you to do it now? I'm going to write another book. It's not pressing on me to do another book right now. It's not. So I don't need to do it the simple way. I can wait on a traditional deal. Do you know why? Because I have the power principles of courageous living that you can buy and read right now. That book will change your life. And there ain't enough people read that. More of my community can read that book. Okay. And get the Bible study guide that goes with that to have some changes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so I don't have a pressing because I already have something that can help people. I already have something that can help you go from, where you are in your mindset to the next thing. I already got something. So there's not this huge pressing for me to do the next book. So I don't have to do it the simple way. But if you have a pressing to get your book out, you might need to do it the simple way. You might need to self-publish. I'm just saying, if you have a pressing to get it out, some of you have a pressing for something. You have a pressing to go somewhere. You have a pressing in your spirit to start a ministry. You have a pressing in your heart to do something. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. What is the simplest way for me to do this? How can I do this in the fewest number of steps? We think that's lazy. That's efficiency. Right? I'm not talking about low quality, bad quality. I'm talking about what are the simplest steps that I can do right now to get from where I am to whatever it is I'm trying to do for my people. Simple. Simplest way. I don't know what weight loss plan I'm going to use, but the simplest thing I can do right now is to increase my water, increase my movement, and increase my rest. That right off the bat. That's simple. Maybe you need to change what you eat. Maybe you need to do such and such and such. Those things, okay, cool. But don't say you waiting to start on your weight loss journey until you figure out, you're doing all this research to figure out what's the best weight loss plan. You know that more water, more movement, and more rest is the way to go. And that movement can be simple. It can be walking. Come on. You see what I'm saying? Keep it simple. You see what I'm saying to you? What is the easiest way, the quickest way for me to get this thing done? Keeping it simple. So I'm keeping courageous faith simple. I can't believe it took me this long to get to it. The reason that we're having the retreat, the reason I can have the retreat is because when I came back and I started to think about the vision, right? Vision-driven leader, I got this vision. I started to ask myself, what is the simplest way I could do a retreat? What's the simplest way I could do one? The simplest way is to have it at the hotel. Why? Because it doesn't cost me $15,000 up front. That's why. That didn't cost me $15,000 up front to reserve the space at the hotel. Simplest way is to do it at the hotel. So now, guess what? Now we're going to serve 30 women September 9th through 11th. Now we're going to serve, because that's my heart. I had a pressing to do a retreat. I had been thinking about it. I wanted to do one. We planned one out. I had a location. I looked at that location. It was $15,000. Now I need to get a business line of credit, all of these things. And it's like, what is and I was only going to invite 10 people. Only 10 people can come. What is the simplest way for me to do this so that I can have the impact I want? The simplest way is to host it at a hotel. Okay, boom. Will they always be at a hotel? Maybe not. This one is, though, because it was the simplest way for me to get it done. Let's host it at the hotel. Boom, done. Courageous Faith membership. I put in a lot to Courageous Faith membership. That's where I spend the most of my time. And I love spending my time at Courageous Faith membership. But let me tell you something. What I realized is that the women I serve in CFM are still not necessarily getting their instruction from their time in the Word. So they're showing up to these Tuesday Take Action Tuesdays, right? At 8 a.m., I got more women showing up to Take Action Tuesday than I do have women coming to the study with me. How can I keep this simple and flip it back to where the purpose of CFM is to put your faith in action? And faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word about God. So our faith starts with being in the word. And then from that word, we can get a revelation for application that we can apply to our business. That's what CFM is for. But what I have is I have a lot of, it's very heavy on the goal setting. And I'm here for it because you need to be able to set goals. It's very heavy on the goal setting, right? And what's the execution rate? But it's light. CFM currently is light on the Bible. I could see why I was on the chopping block for the Holy Spirit. Like, nope, we ain't doing none of that. I'm like, okay, what would make it make sense, right? If I'm not going to be doing that type of coaching, I'm not going to coach. What am I going to be doing? Okay, I got courageous discipleship. That's great. I'm an extrovert and I love working with clients. Like, I love working with clients, not just talking to y'all all the time, like I'm talking to y'all right now. I love working with y'all, helping you solve your problems. I like teaching. I love to see y'all win. I like to see y'all putting stuff out there. I love it when you come to me and you didn't have a podcast and now you got a podcast. Absolutely love seeing it. You didn't have a group and now you got a group and you're serving and now your ideas are coming out and your vision is getting bigger and you're starting to use your imagination. I absolutely love those things, right? So I'm like, okay, what about that? Nothing beats that Bible though. I mean, I'm gonna stand on that, right? That's where we got to start. And so now that the Lord has helped me to see that what I need to do is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I don't want to do replays. I don't want to, can we got a replay? We ain't got no replay. Keep it simple. I pay for Zoom every month. Well, the church, right? Because that's what we use to, you know what I'm saying, for the conversation. But Zoom is being paid for, and that's not true. Every month we paid for the year. But Zoom is being paid for, right? Or Zoom has been paid for the year. And at the level that allows me to stream it into a private group. So guess what? Courageous Faith membership has already started its migration back to Facebook for Mighty Networks. Why? Because I want to keep it simple. Now I don't have to record Take Action Tuesday. I don't have to record Study With Me. And now I got all this recordings and I'm spending all this time. I got to take the recording and upload it into the thing. And then the recording is only good for 30 days. So then I got to go back in there and I got to delete it. I got to manage all this storage. I don't got to do that. I ain't got to do that. I can just keep it simple. I can stream right into the group. I'm like, okay. So my time in the meeting is literally my time in the meeting. That's it. So I've taken something that was taken up Tuesday, 4 days. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8. It's really 12. Plus another 3 days. That's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I've taken something that was taking me 20 hours a month, which doesn't seem like a lot of time. Except for our pastor at church, okay? Something that was taking me 20 hours a month. I've taken that and I've reduced the amount of time that it's going to cost, more than 20 hours a month, because I did not include the upload, that was taking me 20 hours a month. Instead of now doing that thing that's costing me 20 hours a month, now we're going to have weekly meetings from 8 to 9 on Tuesday, alternating Teach Me. It's going to be Teach Me Tuesday, where we'll be doing the Bible study together. And it's going to be Take Action Tuesday, where we are dropping our execution rate. And once a month, we will be checking in on our goals. That's it. 5 days, 5 meetings a month. That's it. 1 hour a meeting, 5 hours plus the community. Do you know what that does for you? It gives you more time to be in your Bible and more time to do the work that God has called you to do. I don't want Courageous Faith to be a thing for you. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want for Courageous Faith to be a thing for you. Hey, Fleur, have you gotten I need to check. I hope you've gotten your package. Have you gotten your package? Let me know, Fleur, if you've gotten your package. I know it takes a really long time. Sometimes I've sent things internationally and it never got received. Like, sent something to South Africa. It's still just sitting in Johannesburg. I don't know where. Just sitting. Or you haven't gotten it yet. I know it takes about Took about 4 weeks for the last one I sent out there. So even though I pay for priority, you know what I'm saying, it still takes a bit of a minute. But I don't want Courageous Faith membership to be the thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, where everything you're doing it for Courageous Faith membership. Like, oh, I need to do this studying for Courageous Faith membership. Oh, I need to show up to this meeting for Courageous Faith membership. No, I want CFM to be the thing that helps you put your faith into action. I want it to be a tool that you use that helps you to get more work done, that helps you to spend daily time in the word, and so that you can build community, so that you can have a thing, right? Because there are so many programs out here, and courageous discipleship, it's a thing. Okay? Courageous Faith membership, it ain't a thing. I don't want it to be a thing. I don't want it to be like, oh, well, I couldn't do this thing because I needed to do the work for Courageous Faith membership. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like, we getting in here, we getting this meeting, we're doing this community, boom, boom, boom. Now we're back to work, because this is really about supporting the work. Courageous discipleship, it's a thing. That's a thing. And it's designed to be a thing. It's a thing on your list. It's a thing that's going to keep you from doing other stuff. You hear me? Courageous discipleship, baby, that's work. It's a thing. That is a thing. And I'm okay with that. It's designed to be a thing. Courageous Faith membership was not designed to be a thing. So it's like, how can I keep it simple? Yes, Vina. How can I keep it simple? You know, how can I keep it simple so that we can still, what's the simplest way, right? It's not how can I, the question is, what is the simplest way? Come on, Jesus, give me the words. Okay. What is the simplest way that I, Courage Molina, can help women to build the daily habit of studying their Bible, right? Faith, and then put that in action in their business? What is the simplest way that I, Courage Molina, can help women of purpose, women entrepreneurs, to build a foundation of studying their Bible every day for the purpose of getting instruction from the word to apply to their business? How can I do that? What is the simplest way for me to do that? Do I need all of these things? Nope. I don't need all that other stuff. I need to show you how to do a goal, like how to build a goal. Boom, done. Right? There needs to be some accountability, some check-in, so that you can hold yourself accountable, right? And there needs to be time and means and a way for you to easily start to build it for those who want it. I cannot be worried about people who don't want to do it. I'm tired of excuses, y'all. Like, I'm so over. When I tell you I am over the excuses, I mean that in a real, real way. Over the excuses. I'm over hearing what you know you need to be doing, but you're not doing. I'm over it. Over it. Over it. Okay? So now that I'm over it, all I need to do is provide you with the steps, so those who want it can clearly take it, and those who just want to talk about it, they can keep talking about it, right? Like, that's it. How can I keep it simple so that those who want it can take the steps, and that those that want to keep talking about what they know they need to do and how they know they need the XYZ, they can keep right on doing all that talking? How can I keep it simple so I can serve those who are truly ready for transformation, who are truly ready and have a desire to study, not just read, but to study the word every day, and they want to connect with other women who are doing the same? Yesterday, I got on a call with the squad. Yesterday we got on the call with the squad, and it wasn't one that I called. It was one that Amber called. She was like, hey, we need to get on the call. We got on the call. Listen, essentialism and effortless at the same time, right? We got on the call, and she was talking about, where she is in her business, and she's getting ready to add a new team member, maybe, but there's some issue with that. And she said she needed to get on the call. We got on the call. We got it done. And at the same time, right, I was like, okay, well, since we're here, let's talk. I had a rough couple of days, like, not like rough, but just like looking at these numbers. It's been a very long time since I thought I needed to get a job. Like, not because I don't have money, but because this transition, I'm like, bruh, I'm about to quit. I did not have time for this. I'm just gonna get a job. This is it. It's the summer. It's a great time. It's been a very long time. It's been, I probably have not thought that since 2020. 2020 is probably the last time I actually considered seriously, not just saying it like, haha, I'm gonna quit, but like seriously considered getting a job. And I considered getting a job for a good, it's 26 seconds, but 26 seconds is a long time. For a good 26 seconds, I was really like spiraling. And so we just talked about that, talked it through. But you know what else we did in that community? Do you know what we did in that community? We encouraged each other through the word. It wasn't just like, oh no, you need to do this work because this is what you said we're going to be. No, 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 no. When we got on the call to talk about Amber's business and what's going on with her transition and her brand, and we started talking about my business and the transition with my brand and all that stuff, there was encouragement that came from the word of God. You cannot even be, you can't get encouragement from a community where people are not in the word. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they don't have a word. It's not the first thing they think. It's the first thing, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's the first thing that I think. I don't just think like strategy. I don't just think da 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 da. We might talk strategy, but by the time we're done, I want to know, what is God saying to you though? But so has God changed his mind? What did the Lord say? And you know what? Sometimes we be like, well, I ain't talk to the Lord because I don't want to hear what the Lord got to say because I already know what the Lord gonna tell me to do and I don't want to do that, right? But there needs to be somebody. Do you have a community like that where the women are going to be like, this is what we're doing, where you can constantly see people doing it? Constantly people see people building the life of their dreams. Not that I need to build it like you, but if you can build the life of your dreams, then dang, that reminds me on my bad days that I can build the life of my dream. When I start complaining about my YouTube channel and how it's not growing and all of this stuff, it takes great, it is amazing to have women who are able to speak to it like, no, we've actually built that. We've actually built a 16,000 subscriber YouTube channel, and it just takes time. I know you think that you've been doing it for a long time, but here are the things that you need to do for your YouTube channel that you're still not doing. And when you start to do those consistently, you can't just do some of it, Courage. You got to do all of these. When you start to do all of these things consistently, then you will start to see the growth. You are in isolation. Who was telling you? Who was able to put you up on game? Who was able to give you strategy? Where are you getting strategy from? Who are you bouncing ideas off of? Who can tell you, I've actually been there? I've actually done that. So I know it feels like it shouldn't be like this, but this is actually how it works. It takes a little bit. So if you just keep doing it this way, then that will allow you to XYZ. Like when I came complaining and whining about my numbers for my podcast, the truth is I've never consistently put the podcast out every single week like I've been doing the YouTube channel. That part. Okay. And you need to be in a community of women who are going to help you to see that. Women who are going to ask the right questions, not just women who are going to encourage you and be like, oh, that's good. I'm glad. Oh, that's so good that girl, you just keep doing it. It's going to be okay. You need to be in a community of women who are going to be like, okay, well, how long have you been doing it? Well, how consistently are you showing up? How often are you doing this? The minute that people start asking you those questions, if you are serious about doing what you've been called to do, it helps you to start reflect like, dang, you know what? I've kind of fallen off. That is when I realized it was through the podcast numbers. First of all, let me just say I would like to be on 300 podcasts this year. So if you have a podcast that serves women entrepreneurs or women of faith or women of purpose, if you have a podcast where you are interviewing, like where you interview people, please reach out to me so that we can see if it's a good fit. Because my goal is to be interviewed on 300 podcasts by the end of the year. I've already started, so it's not really 300, but I literally just started like 2 weeks. I just started like 2 weeks ago saying that I wanted to do it, right? And so there's my little plug right there. But here's the thing. No complaining. Opened my mouth yesterday and realized the three women around me weren't about to agree, but instead kept throwing all the things from the Bible and sent me back out into the streets. No complaining. Worked. Exactly. Right? Like, you've got to be in a you've got to be in a community that's going to be pushing you forward, that's going to be holding you accountable, a community that's going to encourage you. Let me just tell you about this. You need to be in a community that's foundation is the word. If you're a woman of purpose and you believe that God has called you to the work that you've been doing, it needs the focus. It's not faith, not faith as a component, faith as a foundation. Say what I said. Faith as a foundation, right? That you need a community where faith is the foundation. It's the springboard. Faith, time in the word is the starting point, right? That part. Women who will encourage you. And 3, women who can provide you with actual strategy, input, guidance, resources, connections, because they are also building, because they are at maybe 4 or 5 steps farther along than you, right, in this entrepreneurship journey, and they can give you some insight about how long it took them to grow their group or what it took to get their group to become active or whatever, right? So they can give you encouragement with insight. Not, let me just tell you, am I the only one, right? Like, I might be the only one. But what happens sometimes when I share with people, like maybe my friends or my family who are not entrepreneurs, right? When I share with my friends who are not entrepreneurs, I get encouraged. But the encouragement doesn't always encourage me. Okay? Let me say that again. Sometimes when I share my frustrations with the business or with the ministry, I get encouraged, but the encouragement does not encourage me because it is just encouragement like, oh, you can do it. Oh, you can figure it out. There's a different type of encouragement that comes when someone says, well, actually, I know that you're in this community and this community is wildly active, but I actually, for a year or for 18 months, I had another community that had 1,000+ people in it and it was not active at all. So I shut that down after 18 months. And then I started a new community and I was very intentional with this community. And so this is what worked. So it's that type of encouragement, right? That type of encouragement, like, oh, I know you see me kind of doing this thing, but actually didn't just start. I've been doing it for this long, and this is actually how it is, or whatever. This is really how it, this is really what I focus on, or this is how I've gotten here, right? Like, it's one of those, it's that type of encouragement where you're in a community of women who are foundation of faith, building a business, or different levels of business than you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a different type of encouragement. It's more encouraging to hear from somebody who has 16,000 subscribers, right? Who has 16,000 subscribers, that it took them 2 years of being consistent and doing all the things to get to 16,000 subscribers, or 3 years to get to 16,000 subscribers, like whatever, right? It's a different level of encouragement when you hear it from somebody who has been through it, instead of like somebody who's like, oh girl, I just don't want you to feel bad. Even that's what it is. And so you're like, yeah, they just don't know how bad I suck. No, they just don't understand how bad it is. No, they just don't understand. But when somebody is in business and they're in that thing, then it's a different level of encouragement. And so the question is, what is the simplest way I can get support? What is the simplest way that I can provide for my family? What is the simplest way that I can start this ministry? How can I do this in the least amount of steps, right? How can I do that in the least amount of steps? How can I do this in the least amount of steps? And so that's really what I'm going to be doing. That's really where I am in this season. What is the simplest way for me to do this? And since I've been asking that question all week long. Let me just tell you what's happened in 7 days. Okay? Are you ready? Let me tell you what has happened. First of all, today Friday, so it ain't even been 7 days. Real talk. It's been like 5 days. Because it started on Monday. It did not start before Monday. It started on Monday. Let me tell you what I've done since Monday, what I have been able to accomplish since Monday, since I've decided to ask the question, what's the simplest way for me to do this? Well, because I asked myself, what's the simplest way for me to do this? I was able to clean up my program roster for Courageous Faith membership. I was able to write out new sales copy for Courageous Faith membership and create a pricing for it that works. I sent that out. Or I published that. That's published. It's out. It's available. You can see it. What else did I do? I also mapped out the new way that I'm going to do Courageous Faith membership so that I can continue to do it. The simplest way for me to do it, right? I did that. That's easy. There was a problem that we were having with, there was a problem I was having with a vendor. And so I chose the road of least resistance. So I was able to resolve something that had been a problem for 7 days or more. It's been like a ton of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I just chose to go the simplest way. So I was able to resolve that issue and get that off my plate and out my mind. I also came up with 26 weeks worth of content because I decided to do things the simple way, right? I need to get back to my messaging. So I went back and I wrote out what my messaging is and what I need to start sharing with the people or whatever again. And I got 26 weeks worth of content, right? So I did this. We're talking about in 5 days, in the past 5 days. This is what I've accomplished in the past 5 days. I also mapped out a brand new podcast. I got the domain for that podcast. I got the name for the podcast. I got the format for the new podcast. Okay. This week, I also did some research because I want to do 300 interviews, and I have the information right now for 400 podcasts, their names, that they do what I do, and their contact information. 400 podcasts that are either faith-based or they're entrepreneurship or they're a combination of both. I got a list of 400, right? What else did I do this week? And I mean, that's on top of my regular. I showed up, I serve my people, I have clients, I serve my clients. I've done all of those things too. But those are things that I was able to do this week because I just kept it simple. I was able to make decisions about what's going to happen and what's not going to happen, right? I was able to make the decision that Courageous Living Mastermind, excuse me, I'm going to turn it into a DIY. Done. Simple. How can I continue to serve, right? How can I continue to put simple? Going back to Facebook, made the decision to go back to Facebook. I didn't just make the decision to go back to Facebook. I woke up Tuesday morning, made the decision to go back to Facebook, started a Facebook group for Courageous Faith members and sent that information out to my Courageous Faith members through Facebook. I haven't even sent it out via email yet because that wasn't the simplest way. The simplest way was for me to go ahead and do it on Facebook. You understand what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Made the decision to keep it simple, moved everything from Mighty Networks for Courageous Faith. Everything else will stay over there. Made the decision, Courageous Disciples, I'm not going to offer it with community anymore, right? Because the truth is, Courageous Discipleship is self-paced, and it's really about you and God. It really, really is. Right. I'll open up comments on the page so that people can make comments in the program itself. right? So that's something else. I simplified something else. How can I make it simpler? What are the simple ways? Because listen, and I'm not talking about making it simpler for the sake of making it simpler, just not doing anything, making it simpler because I realize that there are other things that I still need to do and build. If I'm going to be a household name, I got to get my messaging together. How am I going to be interviewed on 300 podcasts if I got meetings and things to do all day long every single day? How am I going to do that? I can't do, I'm not going to be, you're not going to be able to do that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. What's the simplest way to do it? It's a simple way to do it. I didn't tell y'all this. I also created and scheduled, by the way, I created and scheduled probably 100 plus pieces of social media graphics. Did you hear what I said? In 5 days, these things happened in 5 days. Because I decided to keep it simple. You think if you keep it simple, you're not going to get a lot done. Because I kept it simple, I solved 2 problems I was on the fence with, couldn't move forward, going back and forth, hemming and hawing. When you have a solution, when you have a problem and you haven't found a solution, that takes up space in your head. When you have a problem and you haven't found a solution, when you have decisions to make and you haven't made a decision, that takes up space in your head. So the space in my head that was being taken up with the issue with the vendor, done, fixed it in 5 days, been dealing with it for 8-9 days. I decided, like, what is the simplest way I can do this? Just made that decision, boom, done. Right? Knew that I need to create more content, hadn't really been having time to create content, sat down, outlined 26 weeks worth. Hadn't been knowing what I was going to do with my podcast, how I'm going to do a podcast, whatever. Decided to do a new podcast, new format, mapped it out in the past 5 days. And I created, I just want y'all to understand what I'm saying, created and scheduled more than 100 pieces of content. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Created and scheduled more than 100 pieces of content. And I also created a promotion like cycle thing, right? So that I'm promoting Wednesday night, that I'm promoting church, and that I'm promoting the podcast, the old podcast anyway. 3, boom, boom. It's gonna just be sent out. You're just gonna see it. You're gonna keep seeing it over and over. You're gonna see it 15 times, and then the new one will come in, and then you'll see that 15 times. So that way you don't miss what we have. So you don't miss the podcast. So you don't, even if you can't show up Wednesday night, so you don't miss what I'm teaching on Wednesday night. You know what I'm saying? Like promoter. You understand what I'm saying? 5 days, today, Friday. Because I decided to keep it simple, I was able to do all of that on top of my normal schedule. That's good. Do you see what I'm saying? When's the last time you created content? When's the last time you outlined 26 weeks worth of content? When's the last time you created 100 pieces of content? We got to keep it simple. Kept it simple. Oh, and the content, let me tell you something, that content is fire. It's fire. More fire. It's fire. The content is fire. Keeping it simple. When's the podcast gonna start? I don't know. But I went ahead and I got that domain, and I have the premise of it. So next week when I'm working, because my desire is to keep it simple, right? Done. What's good? All right. I hope this has blessed you. I hope that you will this is what I want you to do, right? This is what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, how can I accomplish this in the fewest amount of steps so that I can get it done now? That's what I want you to ask yourself. How can I accomplish this in the fewest number of steps so that I can get it done? What is the simplest? Ask yourself, what is the simplest way for me to do this? Is even the things that you're doing right now, ask yourself, is there a simpler way for me to do this? Is there a simpler way for me to do this? Ain't always got to be the hard way, y'all. All right, I love y'all. Hey, Stephanie, you are very welcome. So glad. If you're in Courageous Faith Membership, make sure you get in the group on Facebook. I might send out an email today. We'll see. I'm going to get my nails done, mani and pedi day. And if you haven't reserved your spot for Faith Ignited Retreat, you can go ahead and do that. Make sure you do that. If you need to make payment plan, the last day that you can set up a payment plan is June 30th, and you still only have 31 days to do it. So don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't miss out. Okay. Keep it simple. So many great things. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go because it's been an hour. So many great things. Let me just tell you this. Because of the decision, right? And it's a revelation. It's something I got. I'm not that smart, y'all. It's a revelation that the Lord gave me this week. Okay. Because of my decision, because of the revelation and the decision to follow the revelation through. Some of y'all are getting revelations, but you're not following through. You got a revelation about something, but you didn't follow it, right? You didn't do the thing. But because I got the revelation and I followed it through, I am now positioned to serve my current clients at a higher level. I'm able to attract new clients, and I got a business. I am going to be able to do it in the simplest way that will allow me to still pastor. I probably took like I probably had like 3 or 4 pastoring calls yesterday. Okay. Unscheduled. Yeah, your girl out here being a pastor. Okay. So like, because I'm doing it the simple way, because I've decided to ask myself, what is the simplest way to do this? Is there a simpler way to do this? Because I've done it that way, it's a lot. It's just in 1 week, 100 pieces of content, 26 weeks worth of searchable content. And so that's really 100. So I created 100 pieces, right? I have 26 topics that I haven't done anything with, but I have 100 pieces that I've created in 5 days, in 4 days, because today is Friday. In 4 days, created and scheduled more than 100 pieces of content. Solved 2 problems, reduced the price of Courageous Faith membership, and decided that I can now keep it. Now I've been released to continue. When I made it simple, now I've been released to keep it. I got a lot done because I'm asking myself, what's the simpler way for me to do this? I got a lot done, and it's going to allow me to have a greater impact. It's also going to allow me to have greater income. Business women, what's the simplest way to do this? I want y'all to be asking yourself, what's the simplest way for me to do this? What's the simplest way for me to get started? What's the simplest way for me to take this to the next level? All right, that's it for real, for real. All right, I love y'all. Later. Bye.